Just allow yourself to arrive. Allow yourself to find a starting position. And allow yourself to let the costumes and the labels, the to-dos and the tasks, let that just move to the side for a moment. Let the weight of whatever you might be feeling just settle and ground into your mat. When you come into your practice, whenever you sit on your yoga mat, when your feet touch that, when your hands touch your mat, you can recognize that you've come into a really special place where whatever you're feeling and going through is able to be held here. And so we don't need to pretend or hide. We don't need to do anything here. We can allow ourselves to really just be who we are and to feel what we're feeling. And so as I invite you into this practice, it's really an invitation into your own body and to whatever it is that you're experiencing now. Take a quiet moment and just tune in and listen. Notice. And let yourself be imperfect today. Let yourself move through the messiness without needing to fix or correct or perfect or heal anything. Feel your breath start to deepen as you hold this space for yourself. As you give yourself permission to just be exactly as you are in this moment. Deepening your breath gently to just form this deep connection with the life force that flows through you. Or as you hear it called in yoga, prana. Let the prana flow deeply into your belly, into all of your organs and throughout all of your body, and into all of the space around you, connecting inwards and connecting to the space that you're in. Bring a gentle awareness into your posture. And again, it's a little shift maybe in perspective that you don't need to fix or perfect anything, but just give yourself space in your body. Maybe that means you sit a little taller. Maybe it means you actually settle a little more. And it'll be different for each of us depending on how, what kind of habits we may have formed and how you've landed here today. Feel your sits bones anchored into the earth, into your yoga mat. There's a firm rooting into your seat. Notice your breath moving in your belly, in your chest, your ribs, your back. And feel a little lift up through the crown of your head. Feeling that spaciousness in your spine and neck. And again, noticing the breath in between these 2 points below and above. Now gently bring your hands together at the center of the heart. Thumbs rest on your sternum, and you can allow your chin to gently draw inwards as if you're gazing past your fingers or maybe peering in towards your heart. And allow yourself to just take a few deep breaths, letting an intention surface, letting an intention come into your heart. We've all been in this practice for quite some time now, and so we've had different opportunities for setting intentions. Sometimes it's just gratitude, just cultivating a sense of thankfulness as you practice today. Or it could be any other quality you want to cultivate, a peace, love, wholeness, any sort of inspiring word that bubbles up for you. Your intention can be in dedication of someone else. You could use this practice to send your love, to send your energy or positivity, peace to somebody that needs it. Or it could be something that you'd like to affirm for yourself. Just a little reminder so that each time that you pause and with each movement and breath that you take, you can be reminded to move, acknowledging and affirming your strengths. So see what resonates with you today and let it be uniquely yours, this intention that you set. And then we'll start to move from that intention. So even though we'll be guided through a very similar practice in terms of movement, the way in which you approach your practice will be different depending on this intention. So try to keep it in your heart and in your mind as you begin to move today. Let's begin by opening up the hands and coming into a cactus shape with the arms. You can imagine that intention just kind of cracking open. If it was a seed that you planted, it's like it bursts through that shell and just starts to expand and grow some roots. You can spread out your fingertips here, reaching out through the sides of your arms. Connect to your breath. And then gentle movements here. Inhale and lift the arms overhead. Exhale, imagine grabbing onto a tree branch and pulling that branch behind your head as you come back into that goddess shape. And then inhale to lift back up overhead. You might take your gaze up. Exhale, gentle fist as you draw down behind the head. Crown of the head is pointed up. One more time. Inhale, lift to the sky. Exhale, draw down behind the head. Spine is long. And then open your hands again into goddess position or cactus shape. Bring the hands behind the head and interlace the fingers. Thumbs at the base of the head and give yourself a little lift here. Press your head into your hands and your hands into your head, finding a little push and pull. Gentle twist here towards the left, focusing that twist more in the upper back. You don't have to go to any certain extent. You'll find that edge where you don't need to force anything, but you start to find sensation, keeping your elbows pointed in opposite directions, and just breathe here. We'll spend a little time in the upper back as we get into our practice today, coming through center and gently twisting the other way. Head stays over top of the heart and hips. Breathe. And then come back through center for a side bend. Release your left hand to the mat and reach your right arm over to the side. Both sits bones stay grounded. And as you breathe here, you're fanning open your ribs, opening in that shoulder. And gently press into the bottom hand and switch sides. Let your stretch feel good. Again, just a reminder, you don't need to perfect anything here. It doesn't need to look any certain way. You're giving yourself a lot of space today for deep listening and deep breathing. And come back to that goddess shape. Bring your elbows and forearms together right in front of your face. Plant your palms together. See if you can touch the whole inseam of your arm together. Take a breath in here. Exhale and open up your arms. And then we'll reverse the breath. Inhale to cactus shape, lift your chest. Exhale, touch the inseams of the arms together. A little movement in the neck. Breathe in here. Open it up. Breathe into cactus. Exhale, draw the arms together. Lift your arms up to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, cactus arms, but this time letting your arms come all the way down, bending the elbows. Let the hands rain all the way to the earth. And then sweep your arms forward and take a fold over the shins. Let your head bow, the neck grow long. Nice deep breaths. Just begin to notice what happens in your mind and your body, what it feels like in your heart or spirit. To let yourself drop into your practice. There's so much wisdom that lives within us. And when we get quiet, we can actually hear and tap into that. Walk your hands back towards your shins and switch the shin that's in front to the back. Breathe into your cactus arms. Staying here as you exhale. Lift all the way up to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, arms drip all the way down through cactus. Let the hands come down to the earth. And then sweep your arms out in front of you, folding over the shins. These deep breaths, bowing inwards. Listening to your body. Relax through the face. Press your hands back towards the shins and then come into your tabletop. Actually, let's come to the side here. We're not quite to table. And it doesn't matter what side you start on first, but you'll lower down onto your elbow so you can hold your head in your hand and the other hand is here to support you. Begin with the knees bent and stack the knees and stack the feet. Keep the feet together and open the knees. Knees come together, open the feet. Continue in this pattern, feet together, knees separate, knees together, feet separate. Go a little slowly here, trying to keep the body pretty stable and isolating that movement in the hip. And then the next time that the knee opens, hold that knee open. Hold it here for a moment. Lift your foot up and start to circle through that knee. Again, trying to keep the rest of the body pretty stable. Just playing with that range of motion. Switch the direction of your circles. One more circle. And then send both legs down the mat. And you might use the edge of your mat to align your body here. You're going to lift up that right leg as high as you can towards the sky. And actually, if that feels a little challenging to keep the balance, you might keep the bottom leg slightly bent. And then we're going to lift that leg all the way up and lower. Really simple here, but just again, playing with that range of motion. We don't often move our legs in this side to side way through our normal day. Most of the time we're moving forward, backwards. We might get a little rotation in the hips depending how we sit or what we do through our day, but just moving in some ways that maybe the body doesn't always get a lot of. Good, and then hover your foot now just about a foot over top of the bottom. You're going to kick forward. and kick back. Kick forward and back. Do that a couple more times. Go slowly, especially as you go backwards, really reaching that heel back, trying to stabilize there. Then imagine you're riding a bike. So now you're going to bend your knee and just kick, push through that top leg. And reverse the direction, like you're going backwards. Good. Bring the leg back down, and we're just going to roll over the belly or the back and go to the other side. I'm going to switch edges on my mat so that we can see better, but we'll do the same thing on the other side. Starting with the knees bent, lift the knee, lower the knee, lift the foot, lower the foot. A couple more times. And the next time that the knee opens, hold it open. Lift your foot up and start to circle through that top knee and hip. Stabilizing through the rest of the body. Switch directions. Stay aware of your whole body here. Even though we're isolating that movement, you can feel the stability come in through your core, the connection of your breath. And then pause that movement. Extend the legs all the way out, or maybe keep that bottom one slightly bent. And lift the leg all the way up as high as you can and lower. And try to stay in this straight line. One more time. Hovering the foot about a foot over the bottom and then kicking forward and kicking back. Keep going on your own. And then like you're riding a bike, bend that top knee, kick and push. Flexing through the ankle just slightly. And reverse the direction, like you're pedaling backwards. Good. Pause. And then you'll roll to your belly, bringing the hands underneath of you, and press up into your tabletop here. Find your alignment and move through a couple of cycles of cow and cat. Let's bring some movement into your spine, especially where the hips and lower back are connecting. You might go a little left and right or find some circles. Finish the cycle that you're on, coming back to a neutral tabletop and tuck your toes. Walk your hands a little forward for downward facing dog, peeling your hips up. And start to pedal through the heels, bending one knee and reach through the opposite foot, switching on your own. Taking any other movements that feel good here. And then we'll do a few rolls through the spine from down dog to plank, but really try to wave your spine like kind of a snake dog is what I think I've heard this called before. So you're going to round through your back as you come forward to your plank pose, eventually extending through the crown, and then bending the knees, lifting up the sits bones and rounding the spine back. Reach the heels down, gaze back. Come high onto the toes, round through your neck, upper back, all the way forward. Bend your knees, lift those hip points and roll the spine back. Heels press down, gaze back. One more time, high onto the toes, roll it forward. Bend the knees and roll the spine back. Downward facing dog. Anchor into your left foot. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose and step through between the hands. Lower the left knee. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Lock the thumbs together at the top. And as you exhale, draw the thumbs behind the head, elbows out to the sides, like cactus, but with the thumbs kind of pulling apart from one another. Press through your feet and engage in the low belly so you're not dumping all the weight into the lower back. Then release, arms come all the way up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck your back toe and lift the knee. Pause here. Left hand stays down, right arm comes up to a twist. Or if you wanted an open version of the twist, you might lift the left arm up. Release, right hand comes down, step back to downward facing dog. Anchor into your right foot, left leg comes to the sky, breathing in. Exhale, knee to nose, step through between the hands, lower the back knee. Inhale, arms lift up, anchor into the legs, thumbs intertwine, and then draw the elbows down, pulling apart from the thumbs. Breathe here. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, release, frame the foot, tuck your back toe, lift the knee. Your version of a twist. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Picking up lots of space here, that back thigh is lifted. Release, left hand down, step back, downward facing dog. Anchor into the left foot, inhale, right leg to the sky. Kind of like that undulating spine, knee to nose, round through the upper back, and then step through between the hands. Keep your back knee lifted this time. High crescent lunge, slowly rise all the way up. Exhale, this time hands to heart. Elbows point out to the side, shoulder blades draw together. Take a moment. You might have a little bend in that back knee. Option to add on a twist here. So if you want to add this on here, playing with the balance, you're going to rotate to the right, twisting towards the front bent knee. If you want to take it one step further here, you might open up your arms. Gaze can be out to the side, or maybe one more step here, gaze towards your back thumb. I'm going to give you some balance challenges today, and we're going to get just a little taste of it here, and then we're going to weave it into a flow. But just remember, you have options. Good. Bring the hands back together. Come back to your crescent lunge. Reach the arms all the way up. Breathe in. Exhale, release. Hands to the mat. Step back, downward dog. Right foot onto the mat, left leg lifts. Breathe in. Knee to nose, roll through the spine and step the left foot through. High crescent lunge, reach all the way up. Palms together, draw them right in front of the heart. Settle in here. Balancing on the back big toes. Tailbone gently drawing down. Remember how you first started in your seat at the very beginning of practice, with the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. Keep that engagement, that magnetism of the top of the head to help find your posture. And then if you want to add your twist on, start to rotate towards the left. Breathe. Maybe you open the arms here. Challenging your balance, maybe you can gaze past the back thumb. Use your thumb as like a sights in your gaze, what is it called? Like when you're looking through a scope, there's always this little tick mark that you can use to align align your vision. So you're just looking right past your thumb as this little tick mark. Relax the shoulders, bring the hands back together. Unwind, come through center, and then inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Now just stretch down through both heels here. Take a moment in this neutral position. Maybe you want a little more movement. Feel your lower ribs lifting up just a little bit. Head is relaxed. Nice deep breaths. Let it go. If you've forgotten your intention, bring it back here. Then bend your knees and take a walk to the front of your mat. Fold at the top. Hips high, head low. Let the head release. Balance out the weight between your toes and heels. Subtle adjustments here. And then feel as if your legs could get a little longer. Hips lift a little higher and softening in the upper body. And in our previous practices, you've had lots of options here too. So you always have the option to grab opposite elbows, maybe releasing in the upper back a little more. Or maybe finding some movement, a little sway, like a wind blowing you side to side. You could even hold behind the legs, or whatever it is that feels good here. Deep listening, deep breathing. Now bend your knees and come into chair pose. Slow in your transitions. Reach your arms overhead. Feel as if your arms are an extension of your spine. Now use the strength of the legs and rise all the way up. Feel your feet really grounded here as you stand tall. Arms stay overhead for a moment. Release, arms come out wide and down, interlace hands behind the back. Relax the shoulders here as you find this bind, and then loop your shoulders up and back, drawing the knuckles down. Feet stay really grounded and lift up through the center of your chest. Breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, belly comes close to the thighs as you release the arms overhead. Breathe deeply here. Maybe the legs straighten just a little bit, but they don't need to. And then come back to your chair pose, bending the knees, bringing the arms down, and then eventually sending the arms overhead again. Nice deep breaths. See if you can sit a little lower. Use the strength of the legs, rise all the way up. Exhale, rain the hands down wide. Tadasana. Feet are super grounded. Just breathe here, coming into mountain pose. Notice how you feel. Notice any sensation through the limbs, a sense of warmth starting to build in the belly or in the chest. And let's really get that heat moving around through the body. We're going to start to weave together some of these poses we've done and play with our balance. But what I really encourage you to do is start slow. Once you find the pattern and your flow, you might move a little bit quicker, and feel free to do that. But we don't want to go so fast right away that we get frustrated. So let it build. Anchor into your left foot. Lift your right thigh up and lift the arms up. Crane. Just find your balance here and steady your gaze. Your gaze is going to be really important as you move through these postures. So really steady in the gaze. And you're just going to step all the way back into a crescent lunge. Lift the arms overhead. Now into your twist. Left arm back, right arm forward. Gaze can be out to the side, or maybe you look over the back thumb. Bring the gaze back forward, crescent lunge, breathe in, and then warrior two as you pivot the back heel down and reach the arms out to the sides. Peaceful warrior, breathe in. Exhale, warrior two, transitioning into your crescent lunge. Come back onto the back toe, lift the arms up. Now, just like we started, bring the right thigh up into the chest, arms overhead, crane, and adding on a twist. Right arm back, left arm forward. Gaze out to the side, or maybe over your back thumb. Now we're going to move this into a flow. We're going through those same exact poses. Inhale through crane, arms overhead. Into your lunge twist. Step back, open your left arm back. Warrior two, cartwheel the arms open, pivot the back heel down. Peaceful warrior, breathe in. Transitioning to your crescent lunge. Right knee into the chest. Open the right arm back. Twist. Breathe in through center. Revolved lunge, step back, rotate to the left. Cartwheel the arms all the way open, warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Crescent lunge. Knee to the chest, open into your twist, right arm back. Bottom arm comes up and around, revolved lunge, step back, open your arms the other way. Warrior two, windmill those arms, back heel down. Peace. Crescent lunge. Crane twist. Crane to revolved lunge. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Lunge to crane. Twist, right arm back. One more time through it all. Revolved lunge. Warrior two. Peace. Lunge to crane. Twist. Now, right into your eagle. Come up through center. Crane. Right thigh steps over left. Left arm under right. Sit into a gentle chair. Maybe you double bind the ankle around, or the foot around the ankle. If the arms don't quite bind this way, you can hold on to the shoulders. Now simply unwind and come into Tadasana. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sun salute, hinge from the hips, fold all the way down. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank pose. Breathe into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. See if you can lower halfway down. Flipping over the feet, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, rolling over toes, gazing back past the shins. Feel your lower ribs lifting up, sturdiness through your spine. Get steady here. Inhale, right leg to the sky, bend the knee and open the hip. Breathe in, straighten the legs, square off the hips, and step through between the hands. Left foot meets the right, forward fold. Chair pose, breathing in. Exhale, stand all the way up and let your arms drift down to Tadasana. Take a cleansing breath here, mountain pose. Inhale, left leg lifts, arms overhead, crane. We're going to do that first one a little slower again, and then you can start to build in some speed if you feel comfortable in the flow. Step all the way back to your crescent lunge. Find the balance in your feet, right? There's sort of like a buoyancy as you move between these poses. You don't need to be rigid or stiff. It really can help you kind of catch yourself when it's not too rigid. And then open up your arms, right hand back, left arm forward. Breathe here. Maybe your gaze goes past the back thumb. And that's an option through this whole flow. Every time you twist, if you want that added challenge on your balance, you can gaze back. We'll cartwheel all the way open here into warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Warrior two into crescent lunge. Crane pose, left thigh comes into the chest, and then into your twist again. Left arm back, right arm forward. Can you gaze back? And maybe you fall, right? If you want that challenge, go for it. If you need something that's a little more stabilizing today, then maybe you keep your gaze forward or out to the side. Lift the arms overhead, crane, and we'll go through that flow again. Step back, revolved lunge, right arm back. Think of your arms as sort of like a wheel. They're kind of rotating around as you transition. Windmilling them open into warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Through lunge and into crane. Left arm back, right arm forward, twist. Strong standing leg. Again, crane to revolved lunge. Gazing back if you can. Cartwheel open, warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Lunge to revolved crane. Revolved lunge. Warrior two. Peace. Revolved crane. Revolved lunge. Warrior two. Peace. Revolved crane. Revolved lunge. Let's go through one more time. Warrior two. Peace. Through your lunge, crane, revolved crane. And then we come into our eagle pose as the arms come overhead. Left thigh over right. Right arm under left. Binding the legs and the arms. And now finding a steady pose to hold. Those left toes could be on the mat for extra balance, or maybe you bind them around the ankle. It also depends on your body shape, and so it's not better or worse, just find what works. And release Tadasana. Find the balance between both legs. Let yourself come into a steady pose. Inhale, arms overhead, sun salute. Exhale, fold, let it go. Halfway lift, breathe in. Hands to the mat, step back to plank. Breathe into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga, half or all the way down. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Let it go. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip as you breathe out. Inhale, straighten the leg. Step through between the hands. Right foot meets the left, forward fold. Chair pose, breathing in. Exhale, Tadasana. Bring the hands to heart center. Grounding into the heels, crown of the head lifts up. Remind yourself of your intention. Let yourself soften into that intention. Being both soft and strong. Finding the steadiness of the mind even when you're in movement. Now step the left foot all the way back. Come into that crescent lunge. You can keep your hands at the heart for a moment. Now pivot the back heel down as if you were coming into warrior two, but we're going to move into extended side angle, bringing the right elbow down to the thigh and the left arm overhead. Now our movement here will be between extended side angle and a lunge twist. So the first one, again, we'll do a little slow. We'll hold the pose here. We'll feel that grounding in the feet. And then the left hand will come down. You'll come onto your left big toe mound, the hips square off. And you'll open that right arm to the sky if you want to deepen your twist. The right elbow will come back down to the thigh. Pivot the back heel down. Left arm comes up. Extended side angle. Exhale, left hand down. Lunge. Right arm up. Breathe in. Right elbow down. Pivot the heel down. Breathing in, extended side angle. Now find your own flow. Move with your breath, but don't try to rush, right? Let yourself move through those transitions. And if you're not adding on those twists, maybe you just come into lunge to extended side angle, or maybe you just hold the pose for a moment. And we're going to meet in extended side angle. Now straighten the front leg. Come up to a pyramid or triangle pose. Bend your elbows so you're in cactus shape, but turn your palms as if they're kind of like holding a ball between the palms or holding your head. And start to bump that left hip back as you come into triangle pose, but then we're going to extend the arms out in the direction of the torso. Bring the hands back by the face, lift the crown up to the sky, and then we'll reverse that into a peaceful triangle. So you'll tip it backwards and extend the right arm back, left hand might float down. Bring the hands to border the face again. Reverse into your triangle. You're not folding as far as you might when you put the hand down on the mat, right? Because here we're using our core a little more. You extend your arms out. Bend the elbows, bring the hands back. Reverse, peaceful triangle. And don't worry about perfecting anything here. Just explore. You're coming through center and then into your triangle. Extend the arms and come back through center. One more time to peaceful triangle. Back through center, and then we're just going to switch sides. You're going to pivot your toes to the back edge of the mat. Extended side angle, left elbow to the thigh, right arm right overhead. Slowly we'll start to transition here into your runner's lunge. Come onto the back big toe mound. If you're adding in your twist, breathe in, lifting the left arm up. Exhale, left elbow to the thigh. Pivot the back heel down, breathe in, extended side angle. Exhale, transitioning, right hand down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left arm down. Back heel down, extended side angle. Move through your own flow here. Go a couple more times, finding your pace. Explore your body. And then we'll meet in extended side angle. Straighten the legs. Set up for triangle pose. Bend the elbows, hands are framing the head. Lean towards that left leg. Engage the core and then extend your arms out. Again, an extension of your spine, just like we were in crane pose earlier. Now rebend the elbows, bringing the hands by the face. Come through center. And reverse that movement, leaning back. This time the bottom hand kind of comes down and that left arm tips up and back. Bring the hands back. Switch, lean over the front leg, extend the arms. Bring the hands back and tip it back. See if you can open in that upper back and chest a little more, letting that bottom shoulder release. Hands frame the head. One more time through your triangle. Extend. Come back through center. Peace. Release both arms down. Turn towards the long edge of your mat. Bring the hands to the hips. Just stand up nice and tall. Feel that magnetism of the crown towards the sky. Now heel toe your feet in a little bit closer so you can come into Malasana. The toes will point out a little bit, heels in, and lower your seat down between the feet. Hands come to heart center, elbows into knees, and lengthen your spine. Lift up from the center of your arches. And if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes or take your gaze a little lower. Just breathe here. Bring your hands down in front of you. Lift your hips into a forward fold. Heels pivot out slightly. Toes pivot in. Let the head go. And then heel toe your feet a little closer together, all the way together, and come all the way down to your mat. And as you come down, you can sit on your backside and extend your legs forward. Extend your arms overhead. Find your posture here. There's definitely a strength that comes into this pose. And if it's hard for you to sit up straight here, bend the knees. And we'll take a side bend here. So you can release the right hand down and the left arm comes up and over. And then come through center and we'll switch sides. Come through center and then fold towards your toes. And again, you can bend your knees here. Try to hinge from your hips. Holding on to the big toe or the outside edges of the feet. Just take a few deep breaths, slowing down. Maybe you let the eyes close here. Check in with your alignment with your intention tonight. Are you moving and breathing in a way that supports that intention, that supports you? We'll get quieter for these last few moments. Which sometimes is the uncomfortable part, the silence. I encourage you to slowly just drop in. slowly start to lift the head back up. Just drag your hands along the legs as you sit up. Then bend your knees. Hold on to the backs of the thighs. You might need to scooch up a little bit. And roll all the way down to your mat. As you get down to your mat, extend your arms overhead and your legs down the mat. Take a big stretch in the middle. Walk your feet to the right corner of your mat. And cross the left ankle over the right. Now you're going to keep your hips down on the mat. What I see most often in this next pose is that people let that left hip kind of roll up. You're kind of rolling to the side, but your hips are going to stay really, really grounded here. And we're just going to take a side bend again. So you're going to walk your hands towards the right corner of your mat. And you can hold onto the left wrist or fingers. So you're making like a banana shape. And then you'll just soften into this posture and let the breath flow through that left side body. And you'll go the other way, releasing the feet back to center, walk the hands back to center, and go the other direction. Feet go to the left corner, right ankle crosses over left. Hands go to the upper left corner and hold on to the right wrist or fingers. Notice where you can let go. Scan through the backside of your body, letting it make as much contact with your mat as possible. Softening the grip. Releasing the need to control. And as you scan your body, as you are with yourself, noticing and listening, do your best to release any judgment or beliefs that you hold about your body, yourself. It all starts with an awareness. It starts by that deep listening. Just noticing what cycles through your mind habitually. Making a conscious choice to either hold on to it or let it go. Is it serving you or not? Is it something you still want to believe, or is that old? Is that done with? Slowly release and come back through center. You can let your arms come to your sides and bend both of your knees. Bring the feet together, knees apart, into Supta Baddha Konasana. Take up your space here. Maybe your arms go out to the sides. Maybe you hold on to a puppy paw or a partner hand or a little one. Maybe you just hold a ball of energy in your palms. Sensing your connection to the energy around you. And to the energy that's drawing up from within you. a big releasing breath, letting the exhale become longer and complete. Get into that feeling of what it might be like to just step into a bath or a shower and let that clean, pure water rinse over you. Allow these deep cleansing breaths to have that same effect of washing over you. A yoga rinse, letting go of the tension, letting yourself melt under the heat of that water, the heat that comes from the flame within. And let your hands come somewhere over the body, connecting with yourself. Connecting with the life that resides within. That spark of light deep inside of you. You're welcome to stay in this pose if it feels rejuvenating and restorative. Of course, you're always welcome to take any final pose. Maybe that's Shavasana now or some other restorative posture that works for you tonight. And these last few breaths in Shavasana, allow yourself to receive love. Notice where that love comes from. The love that you have for yourself. The love that others hold for you. Maybe tapping into a universal love, a kindness. Just allow that energy of love to move into the deepest parts of you, into every single cell, into every little crease and nook of your brain, softening the mind and dropping into your heart. Just like everything, love is a vibration. Just allowing that pulse that vibration to move through you. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a little deeper breath in and let it go. If it feels good, let out a little sound here. You can wiggle your toes and your fingers. Maybe you take a stretch or a yawn. And bend your knees one at a time. Roll over to your side. And gently press yourself up to a cross-legged seat. Bring your hands in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra, connecting the energy between the palms and allowing the chin to drop down towards the heart. This final posture is a posture of devotion and dedication and reverence, which is why I like to always close our practices with that moment of gratitude and just allowing you to tap into the energy you've cultivated today and to both feel that for yourself and to direct that gratitude or love or peace in any direction that you'd like tonight. And when you feel complete, taking a final bow to seal it all in, and to simply say thank you to yourself, to one another, and to this practice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The light and love and life inside of me bows and honors that same light and love and life inside of you. Namaste. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your evening.